Fading. And for anyone who didn't join us when we originally started that song is called The Garden by Neon High, a local Victoria band. And hello.
Good
It's
morning.
Motivation Mornings with Marnie and Melissa. Hey, I'm Melissa Houston, health insurance specialist and financial planner in Victoria, BC, Canada. And I am enjoying this lovely summer weather we're having here.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's just like it's summer. And literally the weather is summer over here. Because I also am in the same place as Melissa and my name's Marnie Dangerfield. And in case you weren't aware, guess what this week is? It's pollinator week. So thought I'd share that to start. So just to give you a heads up of what's coming, we always like to start with our value statement. And then we're going to be sharing what's been inspiring us this week. And if you're here with us live or watching the replay, we'd love to hear in the comments below what's happening for you. Melissa will start today, I believe, because she is sharing the financial wellness tip this week, which is very exciting. Good to have pen and paper handy. And then she'll share our contact information and our weekly journal prompt. And then we'll share gratitude. Same thing. Hope to hear from you on that as well. And then I'll be closing us out this week with a motivational quote. Doesn't sound
full agenda. Love it.
Let's do this.
Our value statement. Today we gather
in the spirit of possibility,
in support of community,
to encourage holistic well-being,
to empower our authentic selves,
to share appreciation,
to express compassion,
and to enjoy this gift of life.
Yay!
Yay! I love that you can do it from memory.
Most of the time. So me first.
You first.
Yes. All right. Today I wanted to share something that I participated in yesterday. It is National Indigenous History Month. And yesterday, Indigenous Tourism BC held a webinar, or I guess they called it a workshop. But it was on Zoom, so it kind of was a webinar about honoring wellness. And there were sort of two parts to it, but it was the first part that really spoke to me and that I was interested in. And there was a gentleman named Greg, who I believe was from Kamloops, and he shared the process and the benefits of doing a smudging ceremony. And I certainly had known about that, but I didn't know the specifics, and I certainly hadn't seen it actually being done before. And I don't know, just the way he was talking about it sounded so emotionally cleansing. And yeah, these people were even sharing, where you could get some like indigenously cultivated sage to do it yourself. And I was impressed by questions that people had about being concerned about cultural appropriation in doing it. But at least from Greg, the person presenting the ceremony to us, from his perspective, he said, we don't have ownership over this ceremony, and one of their highest values is to share. And so, as long as you are, and there was also some people like concerned about doing it properly, and he said, as long as you are coming at it with an attitude of respect and appreciation, there isn't really a wrong way of doing it. But yeah, it sounded so meaningful to him, and I'm now inspired to maybe get some sage and give it a try sometime, because it just sounded and appeared like such a lovely ceremony to cleanse yourself or space around you. And yeah, I really appreciated that they shared that with us.
Mm, beautiful. Yes. And I'm, yeah, it's a same, similar in that I've known about it and such, but never really, like, am I allowed to do this? And so I think of a friend who created some, who's her company, and she created some, and I thought, oh, I'll just get to try. So I set up my new space for my studio and such. I don't. Anyway, I did it for me, so whether it worked for me, whether I did it right
Work
or
for you.
wrong, it did feel nice. Like, oh,
Cool. And they did record the workshop. I don't know if it's going to be posted somewhere or not, but if I see any notification of it becoming available for people to watch after the fact, I will share the link. And other than that, you could always go to the Indigenous Tourism BC website to see if there's any other online events happening. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the month, so maybe there won't be much else, but it's probably a good place to check out anyway.
exactly. Yes. Oh, thank you for that. That's wonderful. And I want to say good morning to Rose and Cindy over here with
Oh, so you know.
and yeah, Cindy's saying she'd love to watch. Because yeah,
Mm,
she's saying how smudging is a beautifully beautiful personal cleanse. So
mm.
will be a replay on that. Thank you.
How
And thank
about
you for joining
you?
us, Rose and Cindy. Well, I wanted to share a book that I've been enjoying. Um, it's been inspiring me in different ways, and it's called The Enchanted Life: Unlocking the Magic of Every Day. Sharon Blackie, and it's a just a lovely book. She shares myths and stories and facts, and but there's basically with each section there's tips and things you can actually put into practice. Like she actually mentions having a sit spot, which is something I've shared before with nature connection, of having a spot where you go and just pause and breathe and connect with nature. And it's just yeah, I wanted to share it in case anybody can get it from the library or whatever. Um, she describes, so what is, I thought I'd share what she says. She believes the state of enchantment has four major components. It's founded upon a sense of fully participating in a living world, a feeling of belonging rather than separation. It incorporates feelings of wonder and curiosity. To be enchanted is to be comfortable with the fact that not everything can be explained, tolerate, to even welcome the presence of mystery. Enchantment is not all in the head, it is very much a function of our lived, embodied experience in the world, and enchantment is an emanation of the mythic imagination and is founded on an acknowledgement of myth and story as living principles in the world. Anyway, it's you can learn to belong anywhere if you choose. It's an act of creation. And like all acts of creation, it's also an act of love and an enormous leap of what I wanted to share this morning. Sorry.
Sounds great. Have you actually read the whole thing, or are you still working your way through it?
I've got the last 50 pages or so. So I've got some almost done.
Mm, that sounds great. Awesome. Thank you for that recommendation, Marnie. I like that idea. When I think of enchantment, I think of like Midsummer's Night Dream. So this is an appropriate time of year for enchantment
Exactly.
for me.
Summer's just begun.
Yeah, magical. Awesome. Thank you. All right.
Hey.
Time to move away from enchantment to serious business. No, not that serious. Financial well-being tip for today. Um, I was reflecting on how we are now halfway through the year, believe it or not. And I like to take these kinds of opportunities for reflection. So I have put together some financial reflection questions that you may wish to ask yourself. And obviously, there's no right or wrong answers. It's just checking in with yourself and seeing what you may want to direct some attention to for the remainder of the year going forward. So and I have put these in a Word document so that it's actually easier for you guys to write down should you choose to want to write them down. I will share my screen. There's 4 categories. There could have been more, but I felt like sticking with sort of 4 categories. So first one is cash flow. Questions being, are you able to comfortably pay for your living expenses month to month? And how do you handle unexpected expenses? So you can reflect on that, what your experience has been, what you sort of have in place in your mind for how you would handle unexpected expenses, and just see how that feels. See if there's anything that you might want to adjust. And then in the realm of saving, are you currently saving for emergencies or the future? And are you confident that that your savings are in the best type of accounts and investment structures for your comfort levels and goals? Now, that's a little bit more of a complex technical question. And so if any of that makes you feel uncertain, or that you might need some guidance, that is a good thing to consult an advisor on. Or maybe even that is something if you don't currently work with an advisor, that might be something you want to look at some point if you aren't feeling comfortable with answering all of these questions yourself. And then protection. What is your plan to financially handle an interruption in income? So an interruption in income can mean many things. It could be something happening to your employment. It could be something happening to your health that causes you to have an interruption in income. So it's not about what it is that you have, what your plan is, but do you have a plan? And have you thought of those different eventualities? And do you feel that you have adequate resources secured for emergencies? And by adequate resources, that doesn't necessarily mean money saved specifically for emergencies. That could also incorporate some insurance or some social supports. If you know that there's someone who is willing to help you out in an emergency, even that's good to just be aware of and feel confident in, if that is the plan, if that were to happen. So just feeling that out. And then life changes, because you know what? Life doesn't stay the same. And sometimes it's not unexpected. Sometimes things are going to be changing in the future. Um, People have children, people retire, they move into homes. There's all kinds of plans that happen in our lives. So do you anticipate any big changes coming up in your life in the next year? And if so, how are you financially preparing for those changes? Because often those changes involve changes with financial circumstances. So whether that means, getting used to a different budget, or some debt so that you're feeling more secure when the change happens. There could be lots of things. So yeah, these are things just to think about and consider for your specific situations. And it's just a starting point. You could also think of other ones on your own.
Well, yes, but it's so good just to get start the pro. These are fabulous. Thank you. and pretty thorough too. But yeah, as you say, some things might arise as people were working through them and have other questions. And
Hmm.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you might think of an answer and be like, oh, if that's the case, then what about this? Or yeah, it
Mm,
might lead to further thoughts or investigations.
exactly. Yeah. Ooh. Um, and
And
I,
I hopefully gave you all enough time to write things down. I could also share those in the comments too, if
well,
need
I was
be.
going to say there is a request. I'll let you follow up after.
Oh,
'Cause I know you always check the comments after a request for the document because I want to share it
sure,
with wonderful. These are great questions. So yeah, good to share.
definitely.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I can definitely do that.
Yeah. And are these questions like how you mentioned how to a financial advisor or to talk to someone in the know and such? Do you help
Hmm.
with that sort of thing as well with your like are people able to reach out to you or just in their area check out ask?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a financial advisor yet, I'm happy to have a conversation. And depending on what people's needs are, I may or may not be able to help them progress towards what they need to have happen. But I'm always open to a conversation to at least start the process.
It's fabulous. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa.
My pleasure. Am I sharing our contact information now?
I think so. I don't know how to
Dun,
do
dun, dun,
it.
dun. It's on my screen. It's all good. Here we are. All right. As per usual, should you wish to contact us via email, you can reach us at motivation.mornings@gmail.com. Then there is our Facebook page, MM with MM, which you are likely on right now. But if not, please check us out there as we share the resources we discuss in the comments underneath the Facebook Lives. Then there is our Instagram, motivation_mornings_with_mm. And I post the reminders on Wednesday mornings and copies of our motivational quotes each week. Finally, we have our YouTube channel. That is for all the folks who aren't able to join us live and who like to get notifications when we post the recordings of these. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and then you get notifications and you can watch us at your convenience. Alrighty, new journal prompt for this week. Boy, making you write a lot today. Here we go. What makes me feel powerful? Ooh, what makes me feel powerful? I like it.
Ooh, I like that. Because yeah, often I don't know it's something we pause to consider. Like
Yeah, it's not something that just runs through our minds most of the time, I think.
so it's like, have you asked yourself what makes you feel powerful today?
Yeah,
Oh,
recognizing our power. Wonderful.
mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Melissa.
My pleasure. All right.
All right, time for some
Gratitude.
gratitude. So feel free to share in the comments, or if you're watching later, share in the comments as well. So I will begin this with gratitude. And as you mentioned, Indigenous Peoples was National Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday, but we also have the History Month as well. Um, and I just discovered on Monday actually one of our local bookstores, Monroe's Books. They've compiled because one of the things that's recommended is that we educate ourselves, that we choose to learn more about uh, Indigenous experiences and history from them. And there are actually quite a few books that have been written and that are available. And so they have compiled a list of all Indigenous voices books. And for the month of June, just whether it's in the store or online, the sale proceeds from the sales actually go to support uh, Indigenous people, the residential school survivors. Um, uh, them, to support them. So it's one of those, it's like, just, I'm just grateful for what feels like a really just a plus and a plus, like to educate, to be proactive in learning and educating ourselves, as well as at the same time knowing a portion of it is actually going to help the survivors as well, to support them. So I just was grateful that a local business is doing that, and wanted to give them gratitude shout out today.
Yay,
And
my notebook.
rosebooks.com. I'll share the link later. Yeah,
Or I'm sure you could go there in person if you are in fact in Victoria.
you can. Yes, so you can go in person. Yes.
But otherwise, check out their website. Awesome. Mine's pretty simple. With all this lovely summer weather, I have been enjoying a lot of lovely fresh fruit. It's so delicious, and it's just such a great treat this time of year when we got the cherries starting to come out, and I've had a few really good nectarines now, and oh, and the local strawberries. Oh, I just I feel so grateful that we get to enjoy this lovely fresh fruit, and a lot of it is local, and it's healthy. It's delicious. Yeah, I feel very fortunate.
Oh, yes. Doubling that gratitude. Thank you for sharing that. It's so good. It's
Mm.
like, and we know as we keep going, there's more. There's these blueberries, and raspberries, and but oh, this, yeah, the strawberries. And I had my first cherry last night, and I was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I made myself a little fruit salad for dessert last night. It's so good.
Good. Yes. Fresh fruit. Love it. Yes. Yay.
Yay. And now, because I did the financial wellness tip this week, Marnie's got our quote for the week. I'm so excited. I love Marnie's quotes.
There we go. Following this bit of the share of the book. So this is by Sharon Blackie. Enchantment has nothing to do with fantasy or escapism or magical thinking. It is founded on a vivid sense of belongingness to a rich and many-layered world, a profound and wholehearted participation in the adventure of life.
Mm, awesome.
Wish you an enchanting start to your summer. That reminder.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Marnie. I love that it was tied in with your inspiration. And as we wrap up, I think we have some news.
We do? Yes, we do.
We do. Might make some people sad, but I
Oh, we
think
don't
it's
want to
good.
make people sad. No.
Go on, you share the news, Marnie.
To share an enchanting, adventurous summer. That's what we wish. We are going. We've decided with the switch in seasons and summer, and everything happening that we are going to take a break, have a pause on our morning shows weekly, for a little while, potentially the whole summer. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to have a break, and you know, still maybe checking in or doing some posts on the page and that, but the actual shows we're gonna pause for a bit, to, yeah, an enchanting adventurous summer. And update, and check in on the page and or the Instagram page as we go along. But we so appreciate everyone's support and watching the show and commenting and that. It's We do enjoy it, I believe, don't we, Melissa?
Oh, yes. I was just pondering. I'm like, well, maybe what I can do so people aren't left wanting, should they wish to have some motivation in their summer weeks. I could post some links to some of our older shows that we have recorded that people may have not have seen live at the time, or may have forgotten about. So that's something that I could look at maybe doing too.
Okay. But yes, we're not disappearing completely. Still be in and out, but the set show is going to be on pause for a little bit. And yes,
Yeah.
have a wishing you a beautiful summer too, Rose. Thank you. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you so much, everybody. Much
Mm-hmm.
love to you.
Big love.
Enjoy your summer. Bye for now.
Bye.